Today I want to talk about my new travel tripod and my love-hate relationship with it. And I do love this thing, but there is a couple of flaws that I would probably prefer it done a little bit differently. But is the FotoPro X-Aircross 2. This little travel tripod is pretty amazing. It folds up very small, it's very lightweight. It has some pretty cool features, some unique features, and it's about half the price of the Peak Design travel tripod that a lot of people are just pining over. And I believe there's some things that are better than the Peak Design and some things that I kind of wish they would have maybe mimicked or maybe changed in a later model. So let's go ahead and talk about it, and we'll start at the ball head and then work our way down to the legs, talk about their functions, set up the FX30 on it, and just kind of see how the tripod works. So let's unfold it first. So to unfold it from this position, you basically have just folded the legs up. So just fold them all directly down, and then you can click them out, and you can loosen it up here, then slide your guy down there, and you have it set up like you would typically have a normal tripod set up. Now, to be honest, this is how I usually backpack mine. I like that the legs go together a little bit tighter when you do it this way, so that I can just slide it down in my side pocket of my backpack real easily, and it's not catching on anything. So I don't mind the extra couple inches. I still think it's super sleek design, and then it just kind of makes it a little bit easier for me to just grab it out and then set it up. So it's got a really cool designed ball head here. It's very small and compact. I'm gonna show you it against a different one that I have. And so this is a newer ball head, and it's just, they're both Arca Swiss plate mounts, and just the size compact different between them is just a huge difference. So let me show you a couple features here on this ball head that I really do enjoy. It does have your basic pan and swivel rotator there with the degrees on it, so you know where you're at. Then you tighten that one down, and you do obviously have your ball head. So we got your ball head movement here. And then it gives you an extra adjustment for basically just swiveling the plate. Now, you might say, well, why wouldn't you just swivel down here like this? And there's a good reason for that. Now, let me get my camera on here so that I can better show why you might want to do this instead of this. It's nice being an Arca Swiss mount because you can pretty much take any camera mount that's very cooperative with other systems. And so this mount plate is actually for my backpack clip here, which I'll link in the description. This is coming super handy for me on many hikes. And I bought this before our 30-day road trip, or around the United States road trip. Just this PGY Tech backpack clip is just my main, what I just hang my camera on. Comes in super handy on hikes for sure. The plate that actually comes on your Aircross 2 matches it. So mine's the blue, so it matches it. And it's this plate here. This plate doesn't work with my backpack clip, so I go ahead and use the backpack clip on this one. But the Arca Swiss mount, as you know, works on everything Arca Swiss. So this guy works with the one that my camera I'm currently filming on has built onto its cage. I don't have to add anything to it. I just can actually just put it right on there and go. So we'll go ahead and put this on here, tighten it down. And to show you why you may want to use that specific swivel, I'm gonna set up here at its highest point and we'll talk about it. And as you see right now, I'm extending the legs, which we will talk about that in a second, because that's one of my positives, but also negatives about this. So if I'm shooting for vertical video and I've got my ball where I want it, I'm level this way, but I don't like my angle this way, that's where this adjustment comes in very handy. And I can adjust it up. If I'm lower and I'm shorter, I can adjust it down. And then I don't have to adjust any of my other stuff. And that is the main time I would use this adjustment over just using this one. Or if you have a specific angle in general, like here, and you want to rotate it this way, you could do that. So just being able to angle it and then rotate on that angle is where that comes in very handy. A lot of ball heads do not have that function. It adds a little bit extra spice to what you're getting. It's something you don't see every day. Also, the legs and all that are made out of carbon fiber. So like I said, very, very lightweight. So I'm gonna take my camera off of it just for a second so that it's easier just to maneuver. If you have a heavy camera, or if you want to get really low to the ground, it also has the function where there is actually a separation between this. So if you lower it all the way down, you can then tighten it back up, and you can unscrew the bottom pole so that you can really spread those legs out. This also allows you to get it very close to the ground. And then I just slide that in my pocket because it's pretty small, or slide it in your backpack and do something like a tabletop or anything like that. So like if you want to get real low on a table, or you want to get low and you're just out there and you just want to be as low to the ground as possible, remove that piece. You can spread out the legs and get low. You can get even lower, almost completely flat, and it has a click for that. So you can get like real low, very stable, just by untwisting this little guy here, yet you still have it to get that extra height when you need to pump it up for height. So a lot of the travel tripods will not even have the stick at all, and they'll just have a flush mounted ball head that you actually can't even lift to get the extra height. So you guys saw me use the legs, and I like the fact that your clips here actually spring themselves closed. You don't have to push them back into place or worry that they're gonna not stick. They click in every chance you get. They're not ones where you have to pull it out, push it in, it just clicks back in. So that has no issues for me. That's very awesome. My other tripod doesn't do that. You have to adjust, pull them out, push them back in. That's not to be said, every quality tripod doesn't do that. The grip's nice, it's rubber, versus like my newer tripod here has the styrofoam one. I really don't like the styrofoam one. I like this condensed rubber one. It's nice, you're still gripping it, but you just don't feel like it's adding a bunch of heft to it or a bunch of thickness to it, but it still gives you something nice to grip it onto, so I do like that. One thing I have like a love-hate relationship with is the twist legs. I have a real bad feeling that eventually they're gonna break. If you play with carbon fiber too, it feels so light that it feels like it'll break on you. The way they're put in there seems like maybe if you pull too hard, you might like break them out. I don't know. I haven't done it, but I do worry that it could happen. So that's a little bit of a scare for me. Otherwise, it's really cool to just give them a twist and then just extend them out all the way. Then I always start at the top, twist tight, twist tight, twist tight all the way down to know that I'm secure. That's really cool. You can get them out pretty quick and just kind of give them like a this. And I'm pulling them out not light, and then none of them have popped out yet, but it just feels like one day I'm gonna be like, and just like be excited for something and snap it right in half. I don't know. If anybody's had an experience where they've broken one of these types of legs, let me know, because I'm curious if that happens often. Anyways, kind of convenient for getting it out and getting it on a level ground. And I say that because I feel like the clasp adjusters at bulk, but Peak Design uses them, and I think it's easier to adjust height using those than this. If I'm going to adjust the height of like I want to adjust this piece, I need to come down here, grab here, and de-twist, push it in the amount I want, and weigh it and like measure it. I know every photographer has different ways of measuring theirs. I like to use parts of my hand to figure it out. And then you have to like twist it again. And it's just not as easy as flipping the thing out for me, sliding it, flipping it back in. That's more, I feel like that's more intuitive to be able to adjust height of the individual leg segments. But getting it open fast and all that, and that's not to say you can't do it, but you have to think about what you're doing to make sure you don't loosen up a higher up portion of it. Because if you don't grab it down low and you just start like, okay, I need to adjust the height, you just loosened all of them. And now it's gonna be hard to match up other legs. So definitely you have to think about how you're going to adjust the height a little more. That is my main downfall of this whole thing. Otherwise, I'm like basically in love with this tripod, and I stopped using my other tripod even at home. Like I use it if I need a B camera tripod, but for everything, including shooting in the studio, because it's this guy or my Ulanzi MT33 flexible tripod, which I'm using right now to shoot this with my Sony ZV-E10. So yes, I do use other tripods, but I love this FotoPro X-Aircross 2. And if you guys have any other questions that I maybe didn't cover something on it, just ask in the comments and I'll try to answer it. I know, I'm not the most intellectual person to be talking about tripods, but I've used this quite a bit for the last 4 months. And this is just my experience and what I believe is good about it and what I believe is not so great about it. That doesn't mean that certain aspects isn't better or worse for somebody else, but for me, this is what I feel about this little tripod. And I think it's pretty awesome. And like I said, this is my preferred, just stick in my backpack like this, because your little extra height here is not too bad. It's not something to worry about. I plan on doing a little review on this backpack clip, which is also a travel accessory. So keep your eyes out for that, and hit the like button, hit subscribe if you got something out of this and you feel like you're gonna get something out of other stuff that I talk about. I don't know, but appreciate you watching so far, and check out my other channel, Swirling Eddie. I've been doing some stuff there about traveling, so that's kind of where I'm getting into this travel stuff. So check that out, and I'll see you guys next week with another one. I hope you go shoot something awesome. Don't forget to post it. Peace out. See you next week with another one. Later.